Imagine this. You've planned the perfect cruise, packed your bags, and arrived at the airport, only to be told you can't board your flight. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in 2025, new travel rules might just catch you off guard. If you're cruising next year, you need to hear this. What's changing, and could it affect your trip? Stick around. We're diving into the biggest travel rule updates for cruise travelers in 2025. If you're heading to Europe for a Mediterranean or British Isles cruise, there's a brand new requirement you can't ignore. Starting in spring 2025, travelers from visa-exempt countries like the US and Canada will need an ETIAS authorization before entering most European nations. ETIAS, short for European Travel Information and Authorization System, isn't a visa, but it's a mandatory online application process that could take up to 96 hours for approval. The good news? It only costs €7 and lasts 3 years. If you're over 70 or under 18, it's free, but you still have to apply. So could a simple mistake with this form cost you your cruise? Let's talk about what happens if you don't have it. Many senior travelers plan European cruises well in advance, often finalizing their itinerary months before departure. However, this new requirement means that simply having a passport isn't enough. Without ETIAS approval, travelers risk being denied entry, causing significant disruptions to their cruise plans. Since the application is done online, those who aren't comfortable with digital processes should seek assistance early to avoid last-minute issues. So, we've discussed the crucial ETIAS for mainland Europe, but what about those starting their cruise in the UK? For those flying to the UK for a cruise, there's another change. As of January 8th, 2025, US and Canadian travelers must apply for a UK ETA, an electronic travel authorization, before arrival. It's a quick online process, costs €10, and lasts 2 years. But here's the catch. If you forget to apply, you won't be allowed to board your flight. With thousands of cruisers flying to London for Mediterranean and transatlantic sailings, could this new rule create airport chaos? We'll find out soon. This change is particularly significant for senior travelers, many of whom rely on travel agents or family members to handle booking details. Missing this crucial step could result in a denied flight, forcing costly last-minute adjustments. Since the UK ETA must be completed online, seniors should ensure they understand the process well before their departure date. It's clear that digital security is becoming paramount. But while the UK is focusing on pre-arrival authorization, what about the EU's approach to managing entry and exit? Let's talk about the new airport security system that's raising concern. The EU is also rolling out a digital security upgrade called EES, the Entry-Exit System. Instead of passport stamps, it will use facial recognition and fingerprint scans to track non-European visitors. Sounds simple, right? But some travelers worry about long lines and technical glitches. Since this system was already delayed once, could it cause slowdowns at European cruise ports in 2025? We'll be watching closely. While many travelers may not notice much of a change, seniors who prefer traditional travel processes may find the shift to biometric scanning unfamiliar or even intimidating. Increased processing times at border control could also lead to long waits, making it essential to arrive at airports and cruise terminals with plenty of time to spare. We've seen how international travel is being impacted by new security measures and digital systems. But what about domestic US travel? For cruisers flying within the US, there's one more big deadline. May 7, 2025. That's when the Real ID Act finally takes effect, meaning anyone 18 or older will need a real ID-compliant driver's license or another accepted form of ID to board domestic flights. How do you know if yours is compliant? Check for a black or gold star in the upper corner of your license. No star? You'll need a passport, global entry card, or other approved ID. With millions of Americans still unprepared, could this lead to major travel disruptions? We'll find out soon. Many seniors may not realize that their state-issued ID isn't Real ID compliant. Since replacing an ID requires a trip to the DMV and specific documentation, it's important to start this process well in advance. Those who plan to use a passport instead should ensure it's valid for the duration of their travel. So we've covered the requirements for getting through airport security. But what about the costs and logistics of flying to the airport? Flying to your cruise? If you're booking with Air Canada, watch out for their new carry-on baggage policy starting in January 2025. Economy passengers will now have to pay extra for carry-on luggage, $35 for the first bag, $50 for the second, and a hefty $65 if you wait until the gate. Many frequent flyers are calling this unfair, but could this signal a trend for more airlines? If you're flying budget, always double-check your airline's baggage policy before heading to the airport. For seniors traveling with medical supplies or mobility aids, this new policy could be a major inconvenience. Unexpected fees at check-in can add unnecessary stress, making it essential to verify baggage policies before flying. Travelers should also consider packing essentials in a personal item to avoid additional costs. While baggage policies are becoming more restrictive and costly, are there any positive developments in the airline industry that can help alleviate travel anxieties? Here's some good news for cruisers. Several airlines are teaming up with Apple's Find My app in 2025. If your checked bag has an AirTag, you'll soon be able to share its location directly with your airline to speed up recovery if it gets lost. Losing luggage is always frustrating, but for senior travelers carrying important medications or cruise documents, it can be disastrous. This new technology could provide peace of mind, allowing travelers to track their belongings in real time. Those unfamiliar with AirTags should consider learning how to use them before their trip. We know planning a cruise getaway can be overwhelming. That's why we've prepared a free downloadable packing list to make it easier for you. Scan the QR code on the screen to grab it. Plus, we've included a list of suggested cruise lines for 2025, so you can choose the best experience for your next adventure. Check out the links in the description. Travel rules are changing fast, but staying informed means staying ahead. Let us know in the comments, are these changes affecting your travel plans? If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more updates, and until next time, happy cruising!